Yo, 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 yo. Salute, gang. What's going on, people? It's your boy Jay Jordan back again for another WNBA watch along. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Well, we already had 3 games that 2 games this afternoon, and we have one more to close out the Sunday. We have the current, I think they're 6th seed right now after today's games. Let me just refresh, make sure. Yeah, so the Indiana Fever at the 6th seed with a 19-17 record, taking on the 1-seeded Lynx at 29-7. RC, what up? What up? Salute, salute. Hope you're doing well. This game is on CBS Sports Network, so it's a very niche channel here in the U.S. That not a lot of people have access to, so we will be covering this game. Game starts at about 7 p.m. Eastern, so in the next 8-10 minutes or so. Let me just get the clock ready for y'all right quick, so we can get the countdown popping, and then we good to go. Yakini, what's going on? Salute, salute. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you in the chat as well. All right, the starting lineups just came out before I got on stream, and I didn't have enough chance to change them, so let's correct that now. So for the visiting Indiana Fever, as we already know, they're dealing with a lot of injuries. They're starting Odyssey Sims, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Natasha Howard, and Aaliyah Boston. So let me add Odyssey Sims. She was probable to play because she was dealing with a groin injury as well, so I didn't put her in, but I just added her now. So it's Odyssey Sims, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Natasha Howard, and Aaliyah Boston. Their subs, they only have Bree Turner, Michaela Timpson, Demiris Dantas, and recently signed Aerial Powers. The baby, salute for the follow on the Twitch. Salute, salute. So those are the 4 subs for the Indiana Fever. Their injury list is a very extensive one. We'll start off with all the people who are out for the season. We got Sophie Cunningham, who's out, Ari McDonald, and Sid Colson, all out for the season with various knee and lower extremity injuries. Caitlin Clark still out with the groin. They did say she was like shooting around in practice, but that doesn't really mean anything. Chloe Bibby is out with a knee injury, and I can remove Odyssey Sims from the list now that she's no longer out with the groin scare that they had talked about earlier in the day. Tudo, what's good? Good to see you again. For the Lynx, the number 1 seed Lynx, we have Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Bridget Carlton. I need to fix this as well because right before I got on, Nafisa Collier was set to be active. So Nafisa Collier is back after missing a couple weeks with that ankle injury. She last played in that game where they beat up on the Aces on national TV that Saturday, and since then the Aces have gone on a 10-11 game winning streak. So maybe that has something to do with it. Nafisa Collier in her return to the starting lineup for the Minnesota Lynx, and Alana Smith closes it out. That means Jessica Shepard moves back to the bench. She had the fastest triple-double in WNBA history in the last game. So she moves back to the bench. Let me fix all this as we're chatting here. There we go. All right, cool. So there's subs: Jessica Shepard, Natisha Heidemann, Deshanae Carrington, Anastasia Olari Kosu, Maria Klonikova, and Jalen Sherrod closes out the subs. And I can remove Nafisa from the injury report. So they have no one to report injured for the Minnesota Lynx. All right, now let me take a look at the comments. RC says still no Caitlin, it's easy for me. Let's go Lynx. A big game like this, and she's gonna put it on the Hideaway channel. Yeah, and I know a lot of people yesterday. I mean, even though you didn't really miss anything with the Liberty and Dream, I heard a lot of people in different parts of the country couldn't access the game on CBS because they were showing like preseason football or something, even though this was supposed to be a nationally televised game. But who knows? You said CC out for the season too? Yeah, pretty much. They haven't pretty much. Liz, what's going on? Salute. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Chemo, what up? I don't have CBS Sports Network. They used to let me use Paramount Plus login to access it, but no more. Yeah, I hope they address that in the new media rights deal with the CBS Sports Network, because it limits a lot of people from accessing the game, because that it's a very niche channel. Thankfully, I have YouTube TV, so that's where I'll be watching the game on. All right. Earlier today, we had two other games that took place. One was pretty good. The other one, not as good. The first game of the day was between the Seattle Storm and the Washington Mystics. I was gonna do the watch along for that game, but I just wasn't feeling up to it. So I was watching it in the Discord, with Tudo and Sierra. Join the Discord. I started recently, probably like during the other day when the Liberty played Chicago. And when I'm not streaming, sometimes I'll put the live game in the Discord. You can watch and talk about it in there if I'm not streaming. So make sure you join the Discord. Links in the description. But we were watching the games in there, and we saw that Nneka Ogwumike buzzer beater against the Mystics. So Seattle gets that win. That was Brittany Sykes' return to Washington for the first time since she was traded. Ended up being a really good game. The second game, we got into it at halftime, because the other game started about 30 minutes after. It was a close game at half, and then Golden State took off. Veronica Burton, most improved player, she's probably, in my opinion, the most improved player this season. Absolutely was cooking her former team, the team that drafted her and then let her walk for Sevgiusen, but that's a talk for another day. But Veronica Burton didn't score in the first half, came out with like 25, had 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, like the first stat line in W history like that. So Veronica Burton, most improved player in my opinion this season. They get the win 90-81 to stay in that playoff race. And now we have this game. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I didn't even start the poll. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna start this poll up now on the YouTube. Who do you think wins, the Fever or the Lynx? Fever or the Lynx? All right. So we got about 3-ish, 4-ish minutes before this game starts. This game is in Minnesota, Minneapolis. Um, so we'll see how Nafisa looks in her return. So I wonder how long I know you for. I was wondering. Yeah, I don't honestly, my Twitch isn't the most set up. I can't even lie. I don't have none of those shortcuts and all those things set up on there. I just have it. I set it up one time, and that was it. But I need to get back or look deeper into getting all those things set up. But we'll take a look at that. All right. As always, at halftime, we'll go over the box score, the team stats, and the upcoming schedule. Remember, the season is almost over, people. Last day of the season is September 11th, is the final day of the season. So teams are fighting for playoff positioning. Kimo said, y'all picking the injury plague Fever to beat the #1 seed. Yeah, that is some optimism there. Empire, what's going on? Salute, throw a shout out to my wife for me. Hey, Christy, salute, salute. Glad you're here hanging with Empire on the chat. Hope all is well on this Sunday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. All right, broadcast is starting here between the Fever and the Lynx. Make sure you put your vote in the chat on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, you could type it in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this game? Who do you think is going to win this game? Chemo says the Sykes trade seal the Mystics fall. Yeah, definitely. And they made it definitely. They're just playing with house money at this point. Playing with house money. Deontay, salute was good. Salute. Thanks for joining. Kelsey Mitchell, third in the W in scoring with averaging 20.6 points per game, 6 20-point plus games in the month of August for Kelsey Mitchell. The regular Minnesota Lynx broadcasters on the call, Leah Olson and other shorty, I forgot her name, and they just took it off the screen. I forgot, but it's a typical Lynx broadcasters here. Jessica Shepard, as I mentioned, she had the quickest triple-double in W history, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, went 10 for 11 from the field on Friday against the Fever. The second triple-double in Lynx history. That's crazy. That's crazy. Jessica Shepard out of Notre Dame. They're showing the injury bug. I have it scrolling there at the bottom of your screen for the Indiana Fever. Caitlin missing her 15th game tonight. You got the 3 people missing the rest of the season, and then Chloe Bibby out with the knee. Starting lineups are on your screen. This game is about to kick off. Let me turn my volume on. I can't even hear what they talk about. There we go. Oh, geez, that's loud. All right, cool. We in business. Make sure you fill out that poll on the YouTube. Who do you think will win this game? Salute to everybody joining on this Sunday evening. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. We're on the road to 1,300 subs. We're at 1268 now. 1268. So we're almost there, about 32 away from 1,300. Appreciate you guys always tuning in. We're going to get this show on the road now. Jump ball between Alana Smith and Aaliyah Boston. Oh, the lights get dark. Hold on. Unless that was the camera. No, but they turned it back up now. The Fever have the basketball with Odyssey Sims. Odyssey gets it over to Lexi Hull. I think she had a career high last game. Had 18 points. Over to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston against Alana Smith. Spin move. Up and under. Hook shot is up. And the Fever are the team on the board to get this game on the road. Aaliyah Boston, nice up, under, and hook for the score. Queso, salute. What up? Courtney Williams with the ball over to K-Mac. K-Mac gets free. 3 is up. And Kayla McBride knocks down the left wing 3. And both teams are on the board here. She had a season-high 29 points against the Fever 2 nights ago, Kayla McBride. So she's looking to continue her hot scoring against this team. Lynx up 3-2 to start. All right, they're showing replays of that previous play. Odyssey Sims with the rock. Top of the key at half court. Left side to Natasha Howard. Howard with the ball. Hands it off to Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull gets downhill, scoops with the left, and she smokes the layup. Long rebound to Bridget Carlton. Carlton over Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams gets the screen from Fee. Finds Fee on the roll, and that connection just a little off. Fee couldn't gather that bounce pass. It goes off her fingertips out of bounds. So ball quickly back in play with the Fever. Score still 3-2, home team on top. Aaliyah Boston gets bumped by Alana Smith. Oh, she spins off Alana Smith, gets down the hill. Layup is good. Oh, Aaliyah Boston, that was smooth. Alana Smith went for the reach. She spun back to the middle of the paint, drove down, and scored the layup. 4-3 Indiana. Bridget Carlton over to Alana Smith. Left side to McBride. It goes off her fingertips and out of bounds. So good hands there by Odyssey Sims in the passing lane. Deflected that and then it went off Kayla McBride. So Lynx with 2 turnovers now. That's funny. They brought Fee back, and I have her on my injury reserve on my fantasy team. Can't change it. Oh, but Aaliyah Boston is cooking. She has all 6 points here for the Fever off the inbound. Gets a bounce pass in the paint. Spins over the left shoulder off the glass. Right hook. Nafisa with the ball. Nafisa gets down. Tries to do that step-through move. Bounces Natasha Howard. Just knocks her down. Don't call anything. And Nafisa gets her first points back in the return from injury. 6-5, Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell with the ball. Drives right. Throws it back out. Top of the key to Odyssey Sims. She almost double dribbles. Gets it over to Howard. Top of the key. Howard gets Fee in the post. Bounce. Throws it out to Sims. Sims loads up for a 3. Top of the key, and Odyssey Sims knocks down the 3. The first player other than Aaliyah Boston to score, and it's 9-5 Indiana. And another turnover here by the Lynx. So that's 3 turnovers for the Lynx. Figured there would be some adjustment here with Nafisa returning. They got used to playing a certain way, and now Fee is back. Odyssey Sims with the ball left side of the floor. Odyssey gets back to the middle of the paint. Throws up the foul line jump shot. Misses. Natasha Howard. Offensive rebound and putback. So the Fever are hooping. It's 11-5. Maybe the bettors weren't wrong. Courtney Williams with the ball. Gets to the mid-range. Finds a cutting Alana Smith. She travels. They don't call it. And she goes up and under and scores. It looked like a travel to me. But they said she kept the pivot down. It's 11-7. Howard with the ball. Up top to Odyssey Sims. Sims down to Boston. He gets deflected off Smith and out of bounds. Fever retained possession. Jeez, this thing's scrolling so heavy. Ball and play with Lexi Hall. And they lose Aaliyah Boston again. Aaliyah Boston with 8 points here. She is cooking. Aaliyah Boston is taking it to the Lynx right now. Alana Smith with the ball. Goes cross court to McBride. Ball deflects off Kelsey Mitchell. Unintentionally. She wasn't even looking. But the Lynx still have possession. McBride finds Fee on the roll. Fee spins back middle. Step through. Goes up left hand hook. Misses that one. Howard with the rebound. Fee is on the floor in the backcourt. They have numbers if they want it. And they call a reaching foul on Courtney Williams. Second foul on Courtney Williams. And Natisha Heidemann checks in for Courtney Williams. She has 2 fouls already, so she's going to have to take a seat on the bench for a bit. What's up, Robert? Salute, salute. Empire says, love going to the bigs for the Fever early. Yeah, Leah Boston putting in work here. Ball into Boston. Gets it out to Shea Petty. Oh, I forgot to add Shea Petty. I forgot she joined the team. My bad. I got to add Shea Petty to the subs list. But Boston with the ball spins on Smith out to Petty. Over to Mitchell. Up top to Hull. Hull for 3. Air ball. But Howard gets the ball. It falls right in her hands. Reverse layup. And it's 15-7 Fever. I forgot Shea Petty is a part of this team now. That's my bad. And we have a timeout called by Coach Reeve. Cheryl Reeve calls a timeout. Fever hooping early. It's 15-7 over the Minnesota Lynx. Good start here, especially for Aaliyah Boston. Alrighty. Action-packed first couple minutes. Action-packed first couple minutes. Let's take a look at the box score. Excuse me. 15-7 is the score. 15-7. The Lynx just called a timeout, as you can see. For the Fever, they're on the money line. They're plus 220 right now, plus 7.5 on the spread for those into the betting. Over-unders currently 173.5. It started off at 168.5. The spread started off at minus 12.5 in favor of the Lynx. Sierra, what up? Good to see you back. What up? No, we've been pretty much chatting all afternoon, but good to see you in the chat here on YouTube. Indiana, you got Howard with 4, 8 from Boston, and 3 from Odyssey Sims. They're 7 for 10 from the field so far. For the Minnesota Lynx, you got 2 from Nafisa, 2 from Alana, and 3 from K-Mac. Courtney Williams with 2 fouls. She had to go to the bench. And they already have 3 turnovers as a team. The Fever don't have any. Beulah says, what's happening with Sabrina's foot? In the Chicago game, Camila Cardoso fell on it. So it's they said there was a lot of swelling. Nothing major. But it's the same foot that she messed up her rookie year. So anything that has to do with swelling, you want to take it easy. So they left her in New York when they went to Atlanta to get beat up on. And now they'll be back tomorrow to play Connecticut. Hey, Mom, what's going on? All right, so it looks like we're about to come back here. Yep, broadcast is coming back here. Aaliyah Boston is the focus of this evening, or this evening's game. She's absolutely putting it to the Lynx right now. Where is this stuff? All right, let's come back to this. There we go. That fixes it. All right, so it is Minnesota ball. They're about to inbound here. Kayla McBride to inbound right beside her bench, gets it into Natisha Heidemann. Heidemann with the ball. Rocking the pink here and all. Gets it over to Nafisa. Back to Natisha. Right side to K-Mac. Wide open three is up. And K-Mac from the right wing knocks down the three. So that's 2 threes already for K-Mac. It's 15-10. Ball over to Boston. Boston attacks Smith. Goes with a right hand hook. Misses. But Howard tips the ball. Oh, they called the over the back foul on Natasha Howard. That would have been a solid play. She tipped the ball out of Fee's hands right to Boston. Boston had a layup, but they call an over the back foul. So ball to the Lynx here. 15-10. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's been the Aaliyah Boston show. She has 8 of their 15 points. Over to Kayla. Finds a rolling Boston. She goes up for the... Oh, she found a rolling Smith. And Smith goes halfway down and out. Good rotation there by Howard. Fever with the ball. Howard, left side of the floor. Dribbles out. Gets it over to Mitchell. Mitchell wide open. Right wing three. And Kelsey Mitchell cashes in from three. So Mitchell gets on the board here. That's her first basket of the game. It's 18-10. Over to Alana Smith. Smith with the ball. Smith left side to K-Mac. K-Mac off that screen. Goes behind the back. Over to Heidemann. In the corner to Fee. Fee for corner three. And Fee responds with a three. Her first three of the game. And she knocks it down. It's 18-13. Shea Petty with the ball. Guarded tightly by Heidemann. Gets it over to Boston. At the top of the key here. Boston. Hand off to Mitchell. Mitchell gets downhill. Blows right by Smith. Left hand late is good. Kelsey Mitchell, quick as a cat. She coming off that screen. Alana Smith was like a deer in headlights there. Blew right by her. And Heidemann comes back down, knocks down a three. So they just trading buckets here. Defense optional. 20-16. Ball over to Boston now. Boston's been the hub for offense for this team so far. Over to Lexi Hull. Hull over to Howard. Howard spins, goes middle of the paint, steps through, might have traveled, throws up the floater, misses. Tip rebound by Boston. Out to Mitchell. Shot clock resets. Kelsey Mitchell blows by everybody. Another left-hand lay. Misses. Boston misses the putback. Fight for the rebound. Fee gets it. And it looks like Kelsey Mitchell's on the ground. They have numbers if they want it. Minnesota pushing it. Finds Kayla McBride. McBride drives baseline. Over to Alana Smith. Right baseline jumper is up and good. And we have a timeout here by the Fever. I think Coach Stephanie White is not happy with that last play. Probably thought Kelsey Mitchell got fouled, but it didn't work out in their favor. They had numbers going the other way. Alana Smith right baseline jump shot is up and good for her second basket of the game. Yeah, it looked like Alana Smith sort of got in her landing area there, but Boston has to hit that putback. If Boston hits that putback, it's a different story, but she misses the easy putback. They go in transition the other way, and it's a wide open jump shot for Alana Smith. Empire said Kelsey's limping. She was limping a little bit when they called that timeout. They have the camera on the Minnesota bench right now, so I can't see her at the moment. But she was limping a little bit after that, as that timeout was called. Fever can't afford to deal with any more injuries. Alana Smith, they have her stats up here. She's second in the WNBA in blocks, averaging 2.1 blocks per game. Right, so it is Fever Ball in the backcourt. Aaliyah Boston, the inbound, gets it into Petty. So Petty with the ball. Petty crosses half court here. Shea Petty over to Boston. Kelsey Mitchell still on the court. She's moving as quick as she ever has. Mitchell jumped past to Boston. Boston on the island with Alana Smith. Finds a cutting Hull. Hull, a 10-footer. You got to hit that. She misses. Fight for the rebound. Heidemann gets it. Hull has to hit that. Outlet over to McBride. Touch pass to Shepard. Gets deflected by Boston, who saves a for sure layup. It stays with the Lynx here. That was a nice cut by Lexi Hull, but 8 feet from the basket, wide open. You got to hit that. Oh, Heidemann finds Alana Smith. She spins, shoots over Dantas, rolls off. And rebound to Dantas, gets it over to Petty. Petty attacks the basket. Petty gets downhill, right-hand scoop, gets fouled, and won. That's what you're supposed to do when they overplay you on defense. Use the aggressiveness to your advantage. Blows right by Natisha Heidemann, right-hand scoop, and score. Go to the line for the three-point play. Shea Petty's been around the league, played recently with Connecticut, played with Phoenix. Played with LA this season, so she's been around the league a little bit, but a solid backup point guard here as she completes the three-point play. 23-18. Ball over to Heidemann. Over to K-Mac. Over to Alana Smith. Down in the post to Jessica Shepard. Aerial Powers has checked into the game, the former Minnesota Lynx. And the pass out from Shepard goes out of bounds, and it's another turnover by the Lynx. They're racking up the turnovers. Not really a high turnover team, but Aerial Powers getting minutes due to all the injuries they're dealing with as well. Aerial Powers was with the Golden State Valkyries team as well this season. So everybody just getting their frequent flyer miles up with all these hardships. Kelsey Mitchell with the ball down to Boston. Boston faces up on Smith. Out to Kelsey Mitchell. You cannot leave her open for three. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell, top of the key. Three is good. 26-18. Alana Smith with the ball. Oh, Dantas steals the ball right out of her hands. Gets it to Boston. Boston running the floor. Oh, Boston missed Sims. But gets it to Mitchell for three. Oh, and she gets fouled on the three-point shot by Alana Smith. Lan. I gotta say her name right. Alana Smith. She wants her coaches to review that. But in transition, Kelsey Mitchell gets wide open. Alana Smith on the contest. Can't see the landing area there. You see up top, but not the landing. So it doesn't look like the coaches are going to review because Mitchell's at the line and she shoots the first free throw and rattles it in. I'll read the comments at the end of the first quarter, guys. So just keep them coming. Just don't want to miss anything here. Kelsey Mitchell, averaging 23 points per game this month as she rattles in the second. She's second in the league this month. Of course, Asia Wilson is top of the league this month in scoring. 28-18. Kelsey Mitchell at the line to make all three. And she misses the third. Rebound to Dejanay Carrington. Over to Heidemann. Heidemann, handoff to Fee. Fee, in and out dribble. Handoff to Dejanay. Dejanay into the middle of the floor. Foul line jump shot. Bounces off the rim and off. Rebound to Dantas. Powers. Bad outlet. And Heidemann steals it right out the air. Heidemann down the lane. Left-hand lay. And she lays it in. So their first turnover of the game results in 2 points for the Minnesota Lynx. Under a minute to go here. It's 28-20. Dantas with the ball. Handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell behind the screen. Steps in for a long two. Off the back rim. Bounces up. Heidemann with the rebound. Heidemann over to McBride. They're pushing it here. McBride stops at the elbow, finds a cutting fee down the lane, and left hand lay. So it's 28-22. Minnesota on the comeback trail here. Dantas with the ball. Finds a curling Mitchell. Mitchell left hand scoop and scores. Mitchell, you don't know. She's so twitchy. You don't know which way she's going, man. Kelsey Mitchell already in double figures here. 12 points. Shepard over left side to Carrington. Finds a rolling Shepard. Shepard attacks Bree Turner over to Heidemann. Heidemann right corner three. Halfway down and out. Bounces up. Fee tries to get the rebound. Does get it. Goes up and scores. And what happened? They called a foul? Oh, they called a foul on that. It was so loud you couldn't even hear the whistle. The Indiana Fever players were running the other way. But Nafisa fights for that offensive rebound, goes back up, gets fouled by Bree Turner. She'll go to the line for the three-point play with 10 seconds to go. Also, Hall had a career high 23. I said 18 earlier in the day. Earlier in the stream, I should say, as Nafisa hits the free throw for the three-point play. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Kelsey Mitchell finds Dantas. Dantas spin move, goes up, one leg fall away, tries to go glass, doesn't get it. Fee with the rebound over to Heidemann. Heidemann three-quarter court at the buzzer and hits off the backboard. And that's how this fast-paced first quarter ends. My goodness, people. Indiana up 30-25 at the end of the first quarter. Fast-paced first quarter here. Whew, jeez. Hold on. Let me get a quick sip of some juice. Man, a lot going on in that first quarter, but the Lynx always find a way to keep it close. Let's get ready for the second quarter, and then we'll take a look at the stats here. And now I'll take a look at your comments. 30-25, end of the first quarter. For the Indiana Fever, we got Lexi Hull, no points on 0-3 shooting. You got 4 for Natasha Howard with 3 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston with 8. You got Kelsey Mitchell, who got hot. She scores 12 on. She's 2 for 2 from 3. Odyssey Sims with 3. Off the bench, you have Shea Petty with 3. They shot 54% from the field, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and they only had that 1 turnover, which resulted in a easy Heidemann layup. Got Minnesota with Nafisa with 10 in her return, 4 for Alana Smith, 6 for Kayla McBride, and 5 for Natisha Heidemann off the bench. They're shooting 62.5% from the field, 66% from 3. They have 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and they have 5 turnovers as a team. Highly unlike the Minnesota Lynx. All right, now to look at y'all's comments. Let me scroll back up. What I missed. Maddox said, Jay, do you still believe the Liberty could go back to back? My thoughts change on that day to day. Depends on who's available. Jay, well, Caitlin Clark will be back before the postseason. They haven't given us any details. Their hope is to have her back, but nothing has been set in stone. So, we shall see. Jay, should the WM expand the rosters? I mean, they should, but will they? Who knows? With their focus on expanding the rosters is through new teams, not necessarily more roster spots. So, not too sure about that. Max J, I believe the Liberty were just better last year, to be honest, with Lainey Hamilton especially. Yeah, I agree with you there. We lost 2 key defensive players in Lainey Hamilton and Kayla Thornton, so, and we haven't replaced them in that way. We haven't replaced them, so you can see the effects of that now. Empire says 63% to 55% shooting. Let's keep that, and the score 120-115. You know, it's bound to slow down, but it's been end-to-end offense here. Now the Lynx won on Friday against the Fever. So the Lynx are not on a losing streak. Right? Ball back in play here with the Minnesota Lynx to start the second quarter. And Dejanay Carrington gets to the basket and scores right off the second quarter inbound. It's 30-27, 3-point game. Odyssey Sims with the ball and gets fouled there by Heidemann. Caitlin Clark, they are showing her there. She is in street clothes. What up, Johnny? Mitchell gonna get 30. She want to win. I mean, she gonna need 30 if they want a chance to win here. Hull with the ball. Hull up top to Sims. Sims goes center of the floor here. Left to right crossover. Gets the screen from Howard. Over to Dantas. Left side to Powers. Powers on the left side. Powers up top to Hull with 5 on the clock. Hull on the drive. And they call an offensive foul on Hull for the push. Oh, they say it's against Dantas on the screen. I thought it was on Hull on the push off, but they say it's on Hull. They said it was on Dantas with the screen. I thought it was on Hull for the push off. 30-27. Minnesota with a chance to tie with a 3. Minnesota with the ball. Heidemann up top to Carrington. Carrington over to Shepard. Shepard on the drive. Gets cut off by Dantas. Over to Fee. Fee. That's a long 2 from the corner, and she knocks it down. Nafisa back like she never left. So it's 30-29. Nafisa, you would have never thought she missed any game. She looks as good as ever. Ball over to Howard. Howard in the post. Howard reverse spins. Up and under. Reverse layup. Oh, that was tough. Natasha Howard. Half spin. Up. Reverse. Under. Scores. 32-29. Heidemann gets downhill. No help defense. Oh, she smokes the layup. Rebound gets tipped out. But the Fever have it. Sims with the ball. Sims finds a rolling Howard. Howard in the post against Carrington. They call a foul on the reach. Johnny, she went crazy. She knocked down 2 threes, got fouled on the 3. Scoop to the layup. So she's been cooking. Ball in play here with the Fever. Sims with the ball. Left to right crossover at the 3-point line. Up top to Howard. Left side to Powers. Powers left baseline drive goes up. Oh, misses the layup. Gets her own rebound. Pump fakes. Goes up again. Gets fouled. And one. Aerial Powers with the basket. Aerial Powers just signed with the Indiana Fever on a contract due to all the people they have out. And she's at the line for the 3-point play. I think that was her first basket as a member of the Fever. AR, salute. What up? What up? Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. Robert says Liberty missing Stewart. That's the difference. They need their big 3. Yeah, I mean the way their offense and personnel is set up, they need all 3 to win. It's not like these other teams where everybody else can just fill a role. They are the role. She hits the free throw for the 3-point play, and it's 35-29 is the score. Courtney Williams has checked back in as well as Bridget Carlton. Klindakova gets checked in as well. She shoots a 3 and misses. She checked in for Nafisa. Fever have the rebound on that missed 3 by Klindakova. Sims with the ball. Sims for another 3. Off the rim. Long rebound. Goes out of bounds. It'll go to the Lynx. 35-29. Johnny said I took the Fever money line. It was plus 560. From your lips to God's ears, my friend. All the best for you. Courtney Williams up top to Nafisa, who checks back in immediately. Gets downhill. Dejanay double clutches. Thought she was fouled. No foul there. Powers with the rebound. Powers dribbles out to the 3-point line. Guarded by Carlton. Over to Sims. Sims tries to get everybody organized now. Sims off the screen going to her left. Sims, hezzy move. Gets baseline. Tries to throw it. Gets it over to Powers. Powers dribbles with 7 on the clock. Powers tries to go corner. And Courtney Williams throws it off Lexi Hull. and it's a turnover. That possession looked like it was going nowhere fast from the beginning. Surprised you guys didn't just take first half on the Fever. You guys took the whole game. Salute. Why it look like Lexi Hull playing in Nike Cortez? Kick ball there by Natasha Howard on the bounce pass from Courtney Williams to Nafisa. They're trying to get that pick and roll back into play. They have a unreal connection, Courtney Williams and Nafisa. So it is Lynx ball to inbound. Sideline inbound here. They get it into Kleonakova. Hand off to Courtney Williams. 14 on the shot clock. Gets it over to Dejanay Carrington. Carrington. Oh, that terrible pass by Carrington. Sometimes you got to do what you're good at. And she's not good at passing. Howard with the ball. Almost traveled. A bad pass. Boston gets double teamed. They get on the floor for it. And there should be a jump ball. So, I don't know who the jump ball is between. It's between Boston and... Oh, they say it's between Boston and Bridget Carlton. So we'll advantage Aaliyah Boston here. What is happening here? So Boston versus Carlton for the jump. Tip goes right to Odyssey Sims. Advantage Boston, as I mentioned. Odyssey Sims with the ball. Gets dribbling to top of the key here. Picks up her dribble over to Mitchell. Mitchell pump fakes at the three. Drives right. Goes over with the right hand and scores. She is lefty, but she can finish with the right. It is the Kelsey Mitchell show here. She's up to 14. Fever on a 7-0 run in the last 2.5. Nafisa with the ball. Top of the key here. Hand off to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams, left-hand side. She pulls up for a three. And Courtney Williams, left wing three, is up and good. That's her first basket of the game. First points of the game. 37-32. Lynx three-pointers keeping them in it. They're 5 for 8. Kelsey Mitchell gets the pass over to Hull in the corner. Hull drives. Hull, open 10-footer, too strong. She has to hit those. A couple wide open looks off of good movement, and she's just missing them. Too strong. Ball with Williams over to Kleonakova. Right side to Carlton. Carlton comes, fakes to left, goes right. Wide open layup is good. No help side defense there. And it's 37-34. 3-point game. Lynx clawing right back into this one. Sims with the ball over to Boston. Boston tries to get it down to Howard. It goes off Howard's face and out of bounds. So Lynx with another chance to tie with a three. And we have a timeout here on the floor. Timeout here on the floor. It is the Kelsey Mitchell show. 14 points for the Indiana Fever. They have the lead 37-34 on the road. Whoa. It's an official's timeout. 37-34 is the score. Let's take a look. So the Fever outscored the Lynx 30-25 in the first quarter. The Lynx are outscoring the Fever 9-7 here in the second quarter. So you got Lexi Hull, as I mentioned. She has had a couple open looks. Has missed them all. 0 for 4 with 2 assists. You have Natasha Howard with 6 points and 4 rebounds. 8 for Aaliyah Boston. 14 for Kelsey Mitchell. And 3 for Odyssey Sims off the bench. You have 3 from Powers and 3 from Petty. Minnesota, you got Nafisa with 12 in her return. 2 for Carlton. 4 for Smith. You have 6 for Kayla McBride and 3 for Courtney Williams. Their bench, Dejanay with 2, 5 for Natisha Heidemann. Lynx still shooting 60% from the field. The Fever not too far behind at 53% from the field. Both teams shooting good from 3. 60% for the Fever, 62.5% for the Lynx. Turnovers, the Lynx have 6, and now the Fever have 4. They had only 1 turnover in the first quarter. So the Lynx have turned up the pressure here. Rebounding battle is in favor of the Fever. They're leading that 12-8. Assist battle is tied at 9. So that's the action so far. It's been back and forth. That first quarter especially was just back and forth. But almost halfway through, we've slowed down considerably. 7-9. Salute to everybody here in the chat, on the YouTube and the Twitch. Salute to all of y'all. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. We do watch-alongs all season long. Also, link to the Discord is in the description. Make sure you join the Discord. When I'm not streaming, I'm starting to play some of the games in one of the in my Discord channel. So sign up for the Discord. We'll be watching and talking in there. When I'm at some of these games live, I'll actually put the game in the Discord so y'all can watch. I know sometimes it's hard to be able to watch, but we'll do what I can. Ball back in play here with the Minnesota Lynx. A chance to tie with a 3. Alana Smith finds Kayla McBride on the back cut and scores. It's a 2. It's a 1-point game now. 37-36. Petty with the ball over to Hull, right side of the floor. Hull dribbles left, picks up her dribble, gets it down to Boston. Boston attacks Klundakova, goes baseline to Mitchell. Mitchell up top to Hull. Hull pump fakes for 3, resets. Wide open 3, short. Natasha Howard with the rebound, and they call a foul. It was either going to be a travel or a foul, and they called a foul. There's a foul on Alana Smith. That's her second foul of the game. She has to be careful. Petty almost has an inbound violation, and it still results in a turnover. It goes off Natasha Howard's hands and out of bounds. So the Fever starting to lose their focus a little bit. Ball back in play. Minnesota with a chance to take the lead here with a basket. McBride with the ball. McBride at the top of the key here, guarded by Petty. Right side to Williams. Williams for the lead. In and out. Rebound to Boston. Boston gets it over to Mitchell. Mitchell has been the focal point. Howard with the ball, left side of the floor. Howard, handoff to Hall. Hall for another 3. Can she hit this one? She can. It took her 5 attempts, but she finally gets her first basket of the game. 3 for Lexi Hall. 40-36 Indiana. Courtney Williams gets downhill, goes under the basket. Hook pass to Klundakova. Baseline jump shot is up and good for Maria Klundakova. And my broadcast just froze. Okay. All right. I just unfroze it. That was weird. We'll try and catch up in real time here. Make sure. Oh, it was almost a steal by Alana Smith, but she's in the backcourt here. Aaliyah Boston crossover out to Petty. Petty fakes the pass. She loads up for a 3, and she banks it in from the right wing. That was a weird bank, but listen, the bank's open on Sunday in Minnesota, apparently. 43-38. You got Courtney Williams, bullet pass over to Kayla McBride in the corner, returns the favor, knocks down the corner 3. K-Mac picking up where she left off on Friday against this same team, knocking down 3 after 3. Foul by Bridget Carlton here. She's up to 11 points, Kayla McBride, on 3 of 3 from 3-point range. (43-41). The Fever are in the bonus, so they shoot free throws the rest of this quarter. Kelsey Mitchell, high arcing free throw is up and good. AR says Fever can't afford to swap buckets like this. Yeah, definitely can't. Kelsey Mitchell for the second free throw is up and knocks it down. Oh, I added it to the wrong team. My bad. 45-41, approaching 3 minutes to go here. Courtney Williams over to Nafisa. Back to Courtney. At the 3-point line, wants to screen. Doesn't get it. Gets to find to Klundakova and scores. That was a nice. She faked the screen, slipped to the basket, wide open under the rim, easy layup. Odyssey Sims over to Boston. Boston, hand off to Hall. Hall gets downhill, out to Petty. Petty, corner to Howard. Howard over to Sims. Sims on the drive. Sims, oh, bad pass. Ball gets stolen by McBride. She throws it and picked up by Klundakova over to Williams. And it's a foul there by Kelsey Mitchell. So they may check this to see if it's a. Oh, your broadcast froze too, Empire? See, I guess it was something with CBS Sports Network because mine just froze randomly. So they're gonna review this to see if it's a clear path. I think there was a Fever player in between her and the basket, so I don't know if that's a clear path. I don't know if they're gonna call it a transition take. So we'll see. I'm gonna back out of the broadcast right quick as they're in commercial and go back in so I'm as close to real time as possible as we're in a timeout here. Okay, I'm back on, so we'll see how good we are. I'm looking at the comments. City, what's up, City Lights? It says no defense by the Fever, no intensity on defense. Yeah, they're getting whatever they want. What you call it? The Lynx right now, but Fever still holding on to a slim lead. Slim lead by the Fever. As you can see, the Lynx are outscoring them 18-15 in this second quarter. For Indiana, got Hull with 3, 6 from Howard with 5 rebounds, 8 from Aaliyah Boston, 16 from Kelsey Mitchell, 3 from Odyssey Sims. Off the bench, Petty with 6, 3 from Powers. Still shooting over 50% from the field as a team and over 60% from 3 as a team. It's just the turnovers are starting to pile up. They're up to 6 turnovers now. They have 5 turnovers in this quarter alone. Minnesota, Nafisa with 12. You got 2 from Carlton, 4 from Smith, but she does have Atlanta Smith, that is. She does have 2 rebounds. 2 personal fouls, excuse me. 11 points from Kayla McBride, 3 for Courtney Williams with 5 assists. Off the bench, you have Dejanay Carrington with 2, 5 for Heidemann, 4 for Klundakova. And they're still shooting over 60% from the field, and they're shooting exactly 60% from 3. So to everybody who's hanging out in the chat, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. We do watch alongs all season long. The season is coming to an end. There's only single-digit amount of games left for a majority of these teams. So it's a fight to the finish. We already know Minnesota will make the playoffs. There's 4 other teams fighting for the other top 4 places, top 5 places. So we'll see what happens there. Ball back in play here, though, for this one. We'll talk about all this at halftime. 45-43. Lynx with the ball over to Bridget Carlton. Carlton down in Nafisa, guarded by Boston. Nafisa tries to dream shake, spins over the opposite shoulder and misses. Klundakova gets the rebound, but they call a foul here. A loose ball foul by Demiris Dantas. So Lynx to inbound here. Nafisa to inbound. Gets it over to Klundakova. Klundakova posts up, goes cross court to Courtney Williams. She steps in for a long 2, too strong, and Bridget Carlton offensive rebound. Out to Klundakova over to McBride. Finds a roll on Klundakova. Klundakova pulls up for a midi and scores. So 3 bites at the apple results in a basket for the Lynx, and they tie the game up at 45. Klundakova up to 4 points here. Dantas with the ball. Top of the key here, guarded by Nafisa. 10 seconds on the shot clock over to Boston. Boston drives right, runs into Dantas, gets it back to Dantas. Dantas for three, can't get it. Aaliyah Boston fights for the rebound, can't get it. Lynx with the ball, chance to take the lead here. Kayla McBride off the screen. Kayla McBride over to Klinikova. Tries to get it down to Fee. She gets it to Fee. Fee, fall away jump shot, lead. And the Lynx have their first lead since it was 3-2. 47-45, Lynx on top. Kelsey Mitchell out to Dantas. Dantas pump fake, steps in. Long two from the right elbow. Too strong. Fee gets the long rebound over to Courtney Williams. Williams on the run here. Gets downhill. Drops it off to a rolling Klinikova. Easy does it. Set that up perfectly. You've seen that coming the whole way down. Courtney Williams gets the ball. Speeds to the middle of the paint. Finds the rolling Klinikova. Easy layup there. Odyssey Sims downhill, goes floater off glass, misses. Fever in a drought here. Courtney Williams with the ball. My clock is way too fast. It's 30 seconds to go here. Williams out to Klinikova. Can she keep it going? Oh, Maria Klinikova is on fire. Maria Klinikova up to 11 points here. 11-0 run. Wow. 52-45. There we go. Now my clock is up to good. Odyssey Sims with the ball. Gets downhill. Stops. Reverses. Over to Hull in the left corner. Hull on the drive. Hull out to Sims. And there's a shot clock violation. This quarter could not be going any worse for the Fever. They just cannot close this quarter. Lynx going an 11-0 run to close here. 4 seconds still to go here. They still have an opportunity for one final shot. Bridget Carlton to inbound. Bridget Carlton, got to get it in. Gets it into Williams. Williams with 2 seconds. 1 second. Courtney Williams. 3 at the buzzer. Oh, off the rim. And that's how the quarter ends. But the Fever do end the quarter. The Lynx do end the quarter on an 11-0 run to take a 7-point lead going into halftime. This Minnesota team does not go away. It just takes 2 minutes and they can turn this game on its head. Halftime 52-45. We'll get into stuff here in a moment. Let me get my countdown clock ready. Then we can get into the good stuff here. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Let's get this halftime. 15 minutes for halftime starting now. Let me get the third quarter ready for when we come back as well. All right. Salute to everybody tuning in. Let's take a look at this halftime score. RC says, Jay just saying Knicks need to stay close. Robert says another rope-a-dope lesson by Minnesota. Minnesota by 20. Fever gave it a good fight, but it's not enough. It's not enough. All right, score is 45-52. The home team Lynx on top. Looking at that first quarter, Indiana outscored them 30-25. The second quarter, it was all Minnesota, 27-15 to turn this game around. For Indiana, you got Lexi Hull with 3, 6 from Howard with 5 rebounds, 8 from Boston. They sort of went away from her a little bit. She had the first 8 points of this game, and then it's been crickets ever since. 16 for Kelsey Mitchell in the first half. That's crazy. 3 for Odyssey Sims. Off the bench, Petty and Powers combined for 9 points for them. For Minnesota, you got Nafisa with 14 and 6 in her return. 2 for Bridget. 4 for Alana Smith. 11 for K-Mac. 3 for Courtney Williams. Then you have Maria Klinikova, third leading scorer, or tied for second leading scorer with 11 points in 8 minutes of play. Knocked down a 3 as well. 2 for Carrington. 5 for Heidemann. Mom said, what do the Lynx t-shirts read? I don't know. I wasn't really. I think it's the Slam cover, if I remember. Let me rewind and see. I have some time. Rewind and see. Jerbear said Fever are collecting old Lynx players. Yeah, Dantas old Lynx player. Powers old Lynx player. Yeah, it's the slam cover, mom, from the stud bus. Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann. That's what the t-shirt is. They got a slam magazine cover on there. All right, so that's the scores for this one. The Lynx still shooting 62% from the field, 58% from three. So they're absolutely hooping out there right now. And they've closed their rebounding gap 14-13. But they are leading the assist battle 17-11. It's Lisa Leslie, and two other ladies here in the studio on the CBS studio. So yeah. All right, let's take a look at these other games that took place earlier today. Give me 1 second. Let me pull these up. There we go. So we had the Seattle Storm and the Washington Mystics. That was a hell of a game. Hell of a game. Oh yeah, Howard was Minnesota. Howard was Minnesota as well. Sims played for. Dang, I forgot Sims' stint in Minnesota. I know Ariel and Dantas. I forgot Natasha Howard played for Minnesota. Wow, I can't remember that. I remember Indiana, Dallas, Seattle, New York. Well, yeah, maybe she played for Minnesota as well. Earlier game today was the Seattle Storm versus the Washington Mystics battle for that final seed in the playoffs. Seattle buzzer beater by Nneka Ogwumike to get the win in Washington, 84-82. For Seattle, you had Gabby Williams with 10 points, 5 steals. You have Nneka Ogwumike with a 30-piece with 6 rebounds and the game winner. She only went 11 for 15. You have Ezzy Magagor with 6 and 6. Skylar Diggins with 10 and 11 got the double-double. And then Brittany Sykes in her return to Washington since she was traded, she finishes with 10. She hit a big 3 down the stretch as well. So got to give her props there. Off the bench, Dominique Malunga, the rookie. They be picking on her on defense down the stretch, but on offense, she's a lot to handle. 17 points, 10 rebounds off the bench in 28 minutes. The rest of their bench only had 1 point. That was Erica Wheeler. For the Washington Mystics, yeah, Sonia Citron with 14 points and 6 rebounds. Did have 5 turnovers and 4 steals, so she almost equaled her turnovers with her steals. Yeah, Kiki Iriafen with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Shakira Olsen was the star of the show. 30 points from her, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. Did have 10 for 10 from the line. Did have a couple turnovers down the stretch, but she played solid, really. Shug Sutton with 8. She hit a big 3 to tie the game up before that buzzer beater was hit. And Alicia Clark with 3. Jade Melbourne off the bench with 4. Steph Dolson with 11. And that's how that game ended. Buzzer beater by Nneka Ogwumike. Salute to Nneka. Seattle really needed that win as well. Golden State played the Dallas Wings during that game. As you can see, Burton went crazy. 25 points, 13 assists, 4 blocks. Golden State wins that game 90-81. Dallas moves to 9-29. Golden State staying in that playoff picture with 19-18. For the Valkyries, Ileana Rupier knocked down 5 threes en route to 17 points and 6 rebounds. Janelle Salon with 9 points and 9 boards. You had 9 from Fagbenle with 9 rebounds. Veronica Burton didn't score in the first half, went crazy in the second. 25 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. Crazy stat line for her. She played almost the whole game, only rested for about a minute and a half. Kyla Charles with 16 in her start for the Valkyries. Also had 6 rebounds. Off the bench, Kate Martin with 12 points and 5 boards. None for Letitia Mehier, and 2 for Caitlin Chen. Carla Late and Monique Billings were out injured. Cecilia Zandalasini all out injured. For Dallas, Maddie Segrist with 16 and 5. You had 15 for Haley Jones, 3 for Louisa Geisel-Suter. Paige Beckers breaks her her double-digit point streak. She finishes only with 9 points. Did have 9 assists. Grace Berger with 11. Hines Allen with 15 off the bench. Okonkwo with 12. None for Miller and Zaya James. Also injured for them, J.J. Quinterly out for the rest of the season with a sprained ACL. It's not torn, just sprained, so she's out the remainder of the season. Empire said, I had to rewind to confirm, but Lexi took 6 steps on her 3-pointer. The refs are awesome. Yeah. You've seen Tyler Marsh get ejected. Was it last night or yesterday or something? I just seen the clip circling on social media of him getting ejected. Robert said, this is Dominique Malonga's league. I saw it the first time I watched her play. Yeah, she's only 19 years of age, and she's already putting in work like this. Once she gets accustomed to how this league is, and she don't need to get super strong, but just gets a little more grown woman weight on her, she's going to be a problem. She can score from all 3 levels. Just needs to shore up her defense a bit, even though she can block shots, her one-on-one defense. But she's going to be a problem. I feel bad for Ezzy Magbegor because, as you can see, Ezzy's minutes have been slowly dwindling since Dominique's been getting some more minutes. I'll take Ezzy on the Liberty, to be completely honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. So tomorrow is Connecticut versus New York. I've been really, Mom, I know this is a surprise, but I've been debating if I really want to go to this game. They released the pregame injury report, and it's very extensive for the Liberty. We have 4 players questionable, including Natasha Cloud now. Niara Sabli still out, and Connecticut is on a 3-game winning streak. So, we probably look like food in the wild to them right now. Those young guns over there hooping over there in Connecticut, plus the veteran Tina Charles. Gotta shout her out as always. For the second game is the Vegas Aces versus the Chicago Sky. Aces going for their 11th straight win tomorrow. And they're looking to jump into that 2 seed with a win. If they win tomorrow, they will become the 2 seed. So that should be a good one. Chicago coming off. It's funny. Chicago beat the Liberty and then lost to the Sun. So that's the type of team that the Chicago Sky are at the moment. On Tuesday, we have a battle of the 2 teams that faced off today, or 2 of the teams that faced off today. Seattle and Indiana will face off in Indiana on Tuesday. That's a very crucial matchup, as I think currently Indiana is 6 and the Fever are 7. So that will be a crucial matchup. Phoenix and LA. LA still trying to sneak into that 8th seed. They have a puncher's chance. But they're going to have to really start stringing together some wins in order to get that 8th seed. Phoenix trying to hold on to the 4th seed or even climb up to 3 if they can. That's on Tuesday. Wednesday, you have the Aces against Atlanta again. That should be a good matchup in Atlanta. Connecticut versus Dallas. That's on Wednesday. Connecticut versus Dallas. So those 2 teams bottom of the league. No playoff implications there. On Thursday, you have the Mystics and the Liberty. I'll probably be at that game. Seattle and Minnesota. That's going to be a tough one for Seattle. Minnesota, we'll see if they can handle business. And then Chicago and Phoenix. And then on Friday, you have 2 games, Dallas and Atlanta, and Indiana and LA. What we have on Saturday, a full slate on Saturday. You have Minnesota and Connecticut. You got the Mystics and the Valkyries. You got Chicago and the Storm. And then you have New York and Phoenix. That is a crucial matchup there between New York and Phoenix. Because currently the Mercury have the head-to-head tiebreaker. If the Liberty lose that one, if they end the season tied in the same record, Phoenix will have the head-to-head win, and they'll get the higher seed there. All right, and finally, whoops, hold on. I wanted to show you guys, where's the standings? There we go. Boom, that's what I wanted to show you guys. These are the current standings right now. Let me just refresh to make sure. I did refresh it, but just to make sure. Current standings, as the X means clinched a playoff spot next to the Lynx. So the Lynx have already clinched a playoff spot, 29-7 record. Atlanta currently in the 2 seed at 24-13. Vegas right behind them, 24-14. As I mentioned, they're on a 10-game winning streak. I think they've won 11 of their last 12 or something like that. You have the Phoenix Mercury with a 22-14 record. New York down in 5th place currently with a 22-15 record. Indiana at 19-17. Seattle with the win today moved to 20-18. So if the Fever lose today, the Seattle Storm will move up into 6th, and the Fever will drop down into 7th. Golden State holding on to the 8th seed with a 19-18 record. I don't know what the head. I have to look that up. I'm gonna look up the head-to-head between the Fever and the Golden State Valkyries, because they could potentially drop down to 8th if that head-to-head is in favor of Golden State. Yeah, Golden State does have the head-to-head on the Fever. So if the Fever lose tonight, they'll drop all the way down to 8th, from 6th to 8th with that loss. So this is a big game for the Fever here. And then you have the Sparks and the Mystics rounding out the rest of the troops in the record. So this is the playoff thing here. All right, y'all. Thanks for bearing with me through that whole diatribe. Hope you guys got some good information there. You know what to look forward to, what matchups are important, what matchups aren't really so important. All right, let me catch up on the comments. I've been just chatting away. Sierra said, Jay got plans for when he coaches the Liberty. Nah, I'll stay being the fan. I don't know. I never want to think I could be a coach, because that is not my calling. Fever Storm should be a close game. Yeah, we know how the Storm do. We saw it today in the Discord how the Storm almost blew that one. Queso said Collier is so good. Yeah, back like she never left. Johnny said no need to get ESPN. We got Jay. Salute. Appreciate that. All right, broadcast is about to return here. They're talking to Stephanie White on the headset. They're asking how do we get back? How does she plan to get the ball back to Boston here to start the second half? All right, I'm ending this poll now. Everybody has turned in favor of the Lynx. 67% say Lynx, 32% say Fever. Salute to everybody who voted. Salute. All right, let's get back to this. And just like that, halftime is over. Thanks for bearing with me through the halftime report. Appreciate you guys. So let's see how this second half plays out. It is 52-45. Home team is on top. Ball is in play with that home team. And Courtney Williams. Third quarter is underway here. Williams with the ball over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith faces up, gets it over to McBride. McBride down the feed against Hull. Hull fades away over Hull. Oh my goodness, Nafis is just too good, man. 16 for Fee in her return. It's like simple offense too. No, I shouldn't say simple, but when you really look at it, it's just screening, taking advantage of mismatches. Hull with the ball. Hull over to Boston. High low to Howard. Howard under the basket, tries to go for the reverse, gets blocked. Rebounded by McBride. Gets it over to Williams. Williams with the ball. Drives right over to Fee. Fee on the pop. Fee for three. Fee for three. So Fee with a quick 5, and they already call a timeout. Steph White already calls that timeout 47 seconds into the third quarter, and it's a double-digit lead, 57-45. This could get ugly, people. Minnesota is on an extended 16-0 run. They had an 11-0 run to end the second, or a 12-0 run to end the second. No, it was 11-0. 11-0 run to end the second, and they have 5 here. Sierra said, "Where's the mascot? Where's the Lynx? Lynx? See, when I'm watching on national TV, they don't show the mascots doing their thing during in between quarters and timeouts and stuff. We just get commercials." Johnny said White needs to get fired. I mean, she's dealing with a bad hand right now, my friend. Like a lot of the players that she had are out for the season, so she's having to put together the pieces here. Remember this same Fever team when they were healthy. I put healthy in quotes. They beat the Lynx for the Commissioner's Cup final. So it's just dealing with the hand she's dealt right now. This is what you got to do. We're in a commercial right now. If you're just joining, we're in a commercial. The Lynx are on a crazy run right now. Going back to the second quarter, they finished the second quarter on an 11-0 run. They started this quarter on a quick 5-0 run. RC said, "Jay, why won't they sign a young player that can be a diamond in the rough?" Who's out there, my friend? You tell me who's out there. I don't know who's out there that's it just being that's able to be signed right now. That helps them. Chloe Bibby's hurt. They just signed. Look, everybody they signed get hurt. Chloe Bibby. They signed Ari McDonald. She gets out for the season. Odyssey Sims was dealing with a groin. Thankfully, she's playing for them today. But like they just been dealing with Sophie Cunningham out. Like they're just dealing with injury after injury after injury. So there's only so much you can do when the players you were in training camp with are no longer there, and you have to try and get people instituted on the fly. So it's a tough situation for them. They came in with a lot of expectations, and unfortunately, looks like that'll be a fever dream, pun intended. Paul back in play here with the Indiana Fever. Boston with the ball. Boston over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Bounce past to Boston. Boston goes through, left hand hug, rolls around, and they finally get that bucket. I said basket. Bucket there. Tot gets it to a 10-point game. Aaliyah Boston, 10 points is 57-47. Courtney Williams gets it over to Atlanta Smith. Atlanta Smith drives on Boston. Spin. She travels. They don't call. Oh, one ref does call it. I was about to say. Alana Smith always doubled over in pain. She's trying to get her bearings here. Ball and play here with the Fever. Can they climb back into this game here? It's a 10-point game. Mitchell gets it over to Boston. Boston loses the ball, picks it up, and it's a jump ball between Atlanta Smith and Aaliyah Boston. Yeah, you see that scroll at the bottom of the screen? Yeah, their injury scroll is pretty long, man. Robert says, "I'm unable to watch how Stephanie's White nose action." I don't know the lore on that. What's the lore? What, she rubs her nose a lot? Or she breathes out a lot? Jump ball is up, and Boston tips it right to Nafisa. I guess there was a miscommunication about where she should tip that. But the Lynx have the ball. Courtney Williams with the ball. Pump fakes for three over to Fee. Fee has all 5 points in this quarter for the Lynx. McBride gets the ball deflected by Hull. Lana Smith with it over to Williams with 5 on the clock. Left to right crossover. Finds a rolling Lana Smith. Gets stripped by Mitchell. Mitchell on the run. Mitchell has the speed. Mitchell gets downhill, goes up with the left-hand scoop, coast to coast, and scores. She's like the road runner for real. Beep, beep. Meep, meep. And she's gone. Courtney Williams out to Nafisa. Nafisa steps back for a top of the key three, misses. Bridget Carlton with the rebound. Over to Atlanta Smith for three. She misses. Rebound to Howard. Powers. Over to Howard. Right side to Hull. They're trying to get it down to Boston. She gets sealed. Howard with it. Howard picks up her dribble. Gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell with 10 on the clock. Mitchell dribbles. to the three. Back to Howard. Howard spins left. Goes up, double clutches, and they gets fouled on the pass by Nafisa. RC says Bree Hall, Deja Kelly, Serena Sundell, but they probably want veterans. Yeah, that's why they went for Shea Petty. They went ball in to Powers. Powers tries to save it, but steps out of bounds. So it goes to the Lynx. Ball in play here with the Lynx, Courtney Williams. Kayla McBride with the ball, drops it off to Fee on the roll. Ball gets deflected. They say it's a foul on Howard, pulling on Nafisa's arm there. I think that's who they called it on. Robert said, first year watching W, it seems wrong to watch girls beat each other up. I wouldn't say they're beating each other up. They're just being physical. Basketball can be a physical game. So, oh, she got. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, and Courtney Williams gets fouled on a. Is that a 3 or a 2? It's a long 2 for Courtney Williams. She gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for the 3-point play. I didn't really see the foul on that first replay. Let's see this one. Oh, yeah, she hits her on the elbow. Hits her on the elbow. Leah Boston caught with her hand in the cookie jar there. And Courtney Williams for the 3-point play knocks it down. And just like that, it's back over 10. It's 60-49, 11-point game. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell slaloming through the paint and scores the left-hand layup. She's just too hard to guard, man. Kelsey Mitchell. It was literally looked like she was doing them slalom things in the Olympics. On ball with Courtney Williams. Williams drives on Boston, gets downhill, goes under the basket, goes for the floater, and sneaks it in over the rim. Over Boston. Aerial Powers with the offensive foul hits Kayla McBride in the mouth with an inadvertent swipe, and it's a turnover. Yeah, she cuts it with like a forearm to the bottom of the chin there. A ball in play with the Lynx over to Williams. Oh, she almost double dribble. Williams drives left, comes off that screen, finds a rolling Fee, and gets swatted out of bounds by Boston. Ferocious block. Sent that into the third row there. It's like a volleyball spike. I think ball's in play here. They're showing the replay, and I missed the Nafisa Collier basket. I just heard the announcer said she scored. So after that block, I guess she gets a basket and scores. It's 64-51. Aaliyah Boston drives on Klindakova. Oh, layup rolls right off. Klindakova was right there, though. Williams with the ball. Williams playing the crossover. Williams on the drive. Williams picks up her dribble. Over to Klindakova. Hand off to Bridget Carlton. Carlton drives left. They call a foul against Indiana. They say it's a pushing foul on Mitchell. Yeah, Fever. Seems like they're running out of gas. They don't have any reinforcements really on the bench that could help them. (64-51), 5:27 to go in the third quarter. It's been all Lynx. Nafisa gets it into Bridget Carlton. Carlton over to Klindakova. Klindakova down to Fee. Fee, that one leg fall away, bounces around a couple times and drops. It's just unguardable, man. You just got to hope she misses sometimes. That's where it gets to. 23 points in her return. She's saying, look, not so fast. I know y'all trying to crown Asia the MVP, but y'all must have forgot what I could do when I'm on the court. Kelsey Mitchell drops it off, but stolen by Williams. Courtney Williams gets it over to Kayla McBride, and she just blindly throws a bounce pass stolen by Hull. Shea Petty with the ball now. Petty off the screen. Petty out to Hull. Hull on the drive. Hull over to Petty. Petty pump fakes, goes baseline. Floater off the glass is good from the right-hand side. Shea Petty with the floater. 66-53. She's up to 8 points. Hasn't missed a shot yet. Nafisa with the ball. Tries to drive on Bree Turner. Gets it over to Klyndakova. Klyndakova spins into the paint. Guarded by Boston. Tries to dream shake. And loses the ball. Goes down cross leg style. Crisscross applesauce on the floor and stolen. Lexi Hull with the ball. Lexi Hull. Corner to Mitchell. Mitchell for three. High archer gets fouled there by Courtney Williams. And Kelsey Mitchell, that's the second time she's been fouled on the three-point attempt. She'll go to the line for 3 free throws. She hits the guide hand, but I think they may review that. Cheryl Reeves saying I didn't ask for a timeout. So she should be shooting the 3 free throws. So Kelsey Mitchell back to the free throw line. She's 4 or 5 from the line tonight. They're 6 or 7 from the line. The Lynx 2 for 2. Robert says, as far as the physicality goes, I guess I lived a sheltered life. Listen, man. She knocks down the free throw. Sorry. So they have Kelsey Mitchell in this MVP race. She's like a distant 4th. The others are Nafisa, Asia, and Alyssa Thomas. Mitchell knocks down the 3rd. So she misses the 1st. Or did she make the 1st and knock? Did she knock down all 3? I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you. Yeah, she made all 3. Ball and play here with Jessica Shepard. Out to Courtney Williams for 3. Tries to get it back, and she does. Courtney Williams fouled on that previous 3. And she enters back with a 3 of her own. 69-56 the score is. And the Fever with a miss. Kayla McBride on the run. Over to Courtney Williams. Left side of the floor. Pulls up for the midi. Short. Klyndakova rebound is good. Maria Klyndakova is absolutely feasting in this game. She's up to 13 points on 6 or 7 shooting. A season high for her. 71-56. Bree Turner over to Boston. Boston with the ball. Handoff to Shea Petty. Shea Petty pulls up for 3. And Petty knocks down the right wing 3. Shea Petty off the bench with 11 points. That's her 3rd 3 of the game. I think her 2nd 3 of the game, actually. And Courtney Williams goes to the basket, gets blocked, and loses the ball. So Courtney Williams calls for a sub. And Cheryl Reeves calls a timeout to challenge this play. So Courtney Williams goes up. Oh, she gets hit in the head. That's a foul. That's a foul by Shea Petty. She gets popped right in the head. But Shea Petty with the foul, though. Boom. She gets hits there and then gets hit with the blocking foul. So she got, yeah, that's definitely a foul. Clayton, salute. What up, Jay? Just smash that like button. I'm a Sparks fan, so I have no dog in this fight. Me either, my friend. Just here for some good hoops. Thanks for joining as always. All right, they're showing this replay over and over, but Courtney Williams clearly gets smacked in the head, and the refs missed it. So the referees are looking, and then I know you couldn't challenge a no call, but the referees are looking at this, I guess, to see if there's a reason to upgrade here. Yeah, I think that, yeah, Empire, you might be right there. Yeah, so I think they can do that proximate foul. So we'll see. Yeah, she definitely gets popped in the head, and then yeah, so I don't know about that. Yeah, so they may upgrade this to a flagrant, but we'll see. For those just joining, let's take a look at the box score. Score is 71-59. The second quarter is what really did the Minnesota Lynx a world of good. They were losing in the first by 5. They turned that and flipped it on its head. In the end, you got 23 from Kelsey Mitchell, 10 from Aaliyah Boston, 11 from Shea Petty. For Minnesota, you got 23 from Nafisa with 7 rebounds in her return, 11 from Kayla McBride, 11 from Courtney Williams, 13 from Maria Kliondikova off the bench. Robert says Erin McDonald was a very important player. Yeah, now she's out with I think it was a broken bone in her foot. So yeah, that was a double foul there, Gerber. Yeah. But we'll see what the resolution is here. We'll see what the resolution is. Salute to everybody here hanging out in the chat. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. Helps the channel out tremendously. We probably won't be back tomorrow because I'll probably end up going to that game at Barclays to see my team try and get a win against the bottom of the league, Connecticut Sun. But if you join the Discord, I may be playing it back in the Discord. Link is in the description. Join the Discord. It's free. Just be chatting about the W in there. Empire said, knowing the rest, they'll call it jump ball. I guess we're about to find out now. Let's see. They say it's a successful challenge, but what's successful? Explain it to me. I don't know what the challenge was successful for. I'm a little. So I guess they just give the ball to Minnesota. I'm a little confused about that one. But ball is in play here. They get it to Jessica Shepard, fouled by Aerial Powers. So I guess since you challenged it, they couldn't go back and give the foul, so they just gave possession. Yeah, yeah, I'm a little confused about that. Ball in play here with Minnesota. Heidemann over to Kayla McBride, over to Jessica Shepard. Shepard catches Kelsey Mitchell with an elbow, and she's in a whirl of pain there. They may go back. They may go to the monitor to review that as well. Oh man, Kelsey Mitchell went down in a heap there, holding her mouth, and all her fever teammates are around her now. So we're gonna have another review here. Got popped in the mouth by Jessica Shepard. They're right in front of the Indiana Fever bench. She's back on her feet. But I saw that Jessica Shepard. Oh, yeah, catches her with a right elbow right to the mouth. Kelsey Mitchell trying to fight over, and then boom, that elbow pops her right in the mouth. Look like she's okay. She's up on her feet. They're just cleaning up Kelsey Mitchell's lip. They have a piece of like cotton or piece of gauze on her lip there. But as they talk about, they discuss that foul call. Kelsey Mitchell has been the engine for this team tonight. 23 points for Kelsey, 7 to 10 from the field, 2 for 2 from three, trying to keep them afloat here. The game is still within striking distance, but they're gonna have to string together some stops and produce some things on offense. So the referees are at the table discussing this, looking at the replays and stuff. Johnny said Mitchell about to go Super Saiyan. I mean, for as you see, I mean, for your sake, Kelsey Mitchell still um playing with her lip a little bit, touching it just to make sure everything's all right. McBride got hit in the face by Bree Turner, so it was double homicide over there. I didn't even catch that back. I was so focused on the Kelsey Mitchell one, I didn't even see the background. Judo says, "You see it as a play on." I don't know, my friend. I don't know if you could just play on with that one. And it happened right in front of the Fever bench. Stephanie White was irate. I'm seeing this replay now. Oh yeah, I see the background. Bree Turner doesn't catch her with an elbow, catch her with like a finger or an extended hand. Yeah, it might be a flagrant here, assessed to Jessica Shepard. Flagrant penalty one. So Kelsey Mitchell will go to the line. They just said it was unnecessary. Flagrant two is unnecessary and excessive. So that's why it wasn't a flagrant two. Kelsey Mitchell at the line, knocks down the first free throw. So she's at the line for 2 free throws plus possession here for the Fever. So these are some big free throws here as she knocks down both to get it to a 10-point game. So Kelsey Mitchell had 27 on Friday against the Lynx. She's already at 24, and we still got about 13 minutes to play of regular time. Petty gets it over to Boston. They need to capitalize here on this possession. Boston against Heidemann. Picks up her dribble up top to Petty. Left side to Powers. Powers drives left baseline. Stops. Gets it out to Petty. Petty pump fakes for three. Gets into the paint. Floater goes, misses, and Klianikova with the rebound. Heidemann over to Carlton. Carlton for three. Left corner three. And they needed to capitalize on that play. They don't. And it's back to a 13-point lead. Boston over to Powers. Powers gets downhill. Double clutches. Misses. Gets her own rebound. And they call a foul on her offensive rebound. So I think that's Bridges' first basket. No, her first three, I should say. So it's sideline out of bounds for the Fever. They get it into Petty. Petty throws it out to Boston. Boston pump fakes for three. Boston out to Petty. Petty has to shoot a desperation three, and Petty off the bench knocks down the three. And it's a 10-point game. Both teams in the bonus now. Let me mark that down for the Fever as well. 14 for Shea Petty. Knocked down all three of her threes. Bridget Carlton pump fakes for three. Resets. Another three for Bridget. She misses that one. Bree Turner gets the rebound. Over to Powers. Fever need to end this on a nice run here. Powers snakes the dribble. Gets it over to Boston. Boston over to Petty. Petty's been the offense right now. Now that over to Powers. Powers drives. Powers into the lane, takes some contact, throws up the floater, rolls around, and Shepard with the rebound. Hutch, what's going on? Salute. Outlet to Bridget, and she tries to get it to DeJournay, and it goes out of bounds. So Odyssey Sims checks in for the Fever here. Nafisa checks in for the Lynx. Major says, how bad is it? How bad is what? Mitchell's okay. She's still on the court. She still has all her teeth. So we got a minute. My clock is super fast. I keep probably forgetting to pause time. But we're just approaching a minute here in the third quarter. Kelsey Mitchell with the ball. Gets downhill. Throws it out to Boston. Boston fakes the three. Now shoots the three. Rolls off. Rebound. Two Lynx players collide and the ball goes off of them and out of bounds. Oh, yeah. Fee is back and doing her thing. Fee already got 23. Ball in play to Mitchell. Mitchell, catch, shoot. Three off the rim. Bree Turner fights for it, but it goes to Heidemann. It's a 10-point game here, 74-64. Heidemann over to Nafisa, top of the key here. Left side to DeJournay. DeJournay steps into a three and cashes in. DeJournay for three. I think that's her first basket. I haven't said her name a lot tonight. But DeJournay Carrington gets on the board here. Knocks down the three. I don't remember saying her name, but she does have another bucket. Hull with the ball. Hull dribbles in and dribbles back out. Hull out to Sims. 4 seconds on the shot clock. 3, 2, Boston. Floater. Good at the buzzer. Boston with the turnaround floater at the buzzer. 5 seconds left. Heidemann with the ball. 3, 2, 1. Heidemann steps back. Doesn't see the shot clock. DeJournay throws it up. I don't think she got it off in time. It doesn't matter. She did make it, but it doesn't count. So at the end of the third, it's an 11-point lead, 77-66. Lynx on top. So we're getting ready for the fourth and final quarter. Let's take a look. 77-66 is the final score. Pog, salute. What's going on, my friend? Hope all is well. Let's take a look. The Lynx outscored the Fever 25-21 in that quarter. 25-21. Look at it, Indiana. You got Lexi Hull with 3. You got Natasha Howard with 6 and 6 rebounds. You got 12 for Aaliyah Boston, 25 for Kelsey Mitchell, and 3 for Odyssey Sims. You got 3 for Aerial Powers, 14 for Shea Petty. For Minnesota, Bridget Carlton with 5. You got Nafisa with 23, 11 for both Kayla McBride and Courtney Williams, 13 for Maria Klandakova, 5 for Heidemann and Carrington. The Lynx are shooting 62% from the field, 57% from 3. They've only taken 2 free throws. And they have 11 turnovers. For the Fever, they're shooting 49% from the field, 53% from 3, and they've taken 12 free throws. They've made 11. I think Kelsey Mitchell has taken 10 of them. So it's really been Kelsey Mitchell. It's not like everybody's getting fouls. It's Kelsey Mitchell who's taken 10 of them, and then Powers and Shetty both, and I said Shea Petty both have 1 apiece. So because Mitchell got fouled on 2 3-point attempts, so that's 6 free throws. She shot the 2 flagrant free throws, that's 8, and then 2 more, that's 10. Looking at the comments, Hutch said, "I watched the Mystics game this afternoon. They've been disappointing. I mean, it was a good game, but they've lost their star player they started off the season with, and Brittany Sykes. She got traded to this team that they lost to today in the Storm. So you got a bunch of rookies and Shakira Austin there trying to make stuff happen against a veteran-laden team like the Seattle Storm. So they're really playing with house money. So they're trying to get their young players some more game experience and stuff like that. Nafisa just went to the ref, said we have 2 free throws the whole game. I mean, you guys have been getting like easy baskets. That's the only time I'll say sometimes the free throw discrepancy is a little misleading sometimes. Cheryl Reeve wanted to get off that headset so fast. Cheryl Reeve, like 3-word answers. She was like, I don't really don't have nothing to say. Ball and play here with the Fever to start this fourth quarter. Odyssey Sims with the ball. Odyssey Sims. Oh, bad pass. Tipped away by Dejanay Carrington out of bounds with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. If Indy loses, they drop down to 8th. Because they'll have more losses than they'll have the same amount of losses and 1 less win. So they'll drop down. And they are losing the tiebreaker with the Valkyries, so they drop down to 8th, if my calculations are correct. Ball and play with the Fever. Boston gets it over to Bree Turner. Hell no. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I've never seen Bree Turner shoot a 3 in my life. That was way off. Rebound to the Lynx. Heidemann goes down the lane, gets blocked by Bree Turner. I've seen her do that. That's what she does. Ball and play here with the Fever. They get fouled on the drive. Bree Turner shooting corner threes. No comment. Ball and play with Odyssey Sims. Sims with the left-hand drive finds a rolling Boston. Boston finds a cutting Bree Turner, and she smokes the layup. Come on, Bree. You got to finish that. Ball over to Carlton. Over to Nafisa. Nafisa attacks. Bree Turner takes the contact and scores anyway. Nafisa, it don't matter. She says, I'm the MVP. Put some respect on my name. Nafisa Collier. Up to 25 points here. Odyssey Sims open 3 misses. Nafisa with the rebound. She's working on a double-double. Heidemann outlet to Dejanay. She tried to pass it to her like she was a wide receiver. She couldn't get it in and keep her feet in bounds. It's a turnover. Yeah, that should have been Nicole Gerber. That should have been on Nafisa, but she made the basket. 79-66. Ball down to Boston. Boston with the ball. Boston, hand off to Powers. Powers dribbles into the paint, comes off that screen again. Powers into the paint, throws it up. She wanted a foul call, doesn't get that one. Nafisa, I think, got that rebound. Over to Courtney, over to Heidemann. Heidemann walks into a 3. Air ball, rebound to Powers. They don't have numbers. Powers into the lane. Oh, that's a nice little D-Wade goal, Euro step over your head and lay it in. That was a nice move by Powers. I got to salute that. Oh, that was a tough screen by Fee. They get it out to Fee. Fee shoots the foul line jump shot, and they called a foul. Nafisa gets fouled on the free throw line jump shot. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Rob said, I've seen Breanna Stewart take 19 free throws. Yeah, I remember that. I vaguely remember that game. Nafisa at the line for the first, knocks it down. So Nafisa at the line for the second, and she rolls it in. So it's 81-68 is the score. 81-68. Ball over to Boston. Boston at the three-point line, guarded by Alana Smith. And they call a foul away from the ball on DeJournay Carrington. Both players fighting away from the ball there, and DeJournay gets caught. That's her third foul of the game. There'll be sideline out of bounds here. Ball in play to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Sims. Sims on the drive. Sims gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Hull. Hull over to Sims. Sims back to Hull. Hull over to Howard. Howard at the elbow. Howard contested at the elbow, and they call a foul on the jump shot. She had to take that at the buzzer, and I think Alana Smith smacks her on the elbow. They're not showing a replay. Wait, there now they are. So Howard has to looks at the clock, sees it's running down, goes up for the shot, jab step. Oh yeah, Alana Smith catches her on the forearm there. It was on the forearm. She knocks down the first. If you show the replay, yeah, it catches her right there on that forearm. And she knocks down the second. And Minnesota calls a timeout. That was random. It looked like they were about to inbound and then just called a timeout. It's 81-70, 7:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at the box score while we have some time here. $81-70 is the score. 81-70. Minnesota just called that last timeout. 4-4 in this fourth quarter so far is the score. Indiana, Lexi Hull with 3 points still. 8 for Natasha Howard. 12 for Boston. 25 for Mitchell. 14 for Shea Petty. She's just been the spark off the bench. For the Lynx, you have Carlton with 5, 27 for Nafisa, 4 for Alana Smith, 11 for McBride and Williams, 13 for Klindakova, 5 for Heidemann, 5 for Carrington. So that's the scoring so far. So we're in a timeout right now, 81-70. Can the Lynx hold on to get their 30th win of the season? That'll be their 18th win at home. They're 17-1 at home, so this would be their 18th win at home. Tudo says any updates on injuries for tomorrow? We won't get any more updates until tomorrow in terms of injuries for those games. But I'll keep an eye on it. So, as I mentioned, the Fever with a loss moved down to 8th place from 6th place due to Seattle having one more win than them and them currently losing the head-to-head matchup with the Golden State Valkyries. So the Fever will move to 19-18 and move into 8th. And the Seattle Storm will move to 6th. Golden State will move to 7th. And that's how that'll end there. Right, broadcast is coming back. They're talking about the national TV games. August 26th, you got Seattle and Indiana on CBS Sports Network. On Thursday, you got Chicago, Phoenix. You got Indiana, LA on Ion on Friday, and then a couple more games throughout the weekend. Ball back in play here with the Lynx. Williams over to McBride. She pump fakes for three. She was wide open. Guess she didn't feel comfortable. Williams with the ball, keeping the handle alive. 5 on the clock. Courtney Williams crosses over, step through, move, floater is up, rolls out, gets her own rebound, put back is off, fight for the rebound. Alana Smith comes out with it. Cross court to Williams. Williams loads up for a three, third time's a charm, and third time's a charm. You cannot give this team multiple opportunities if you want to win. Courtney Williams misses a shot, gets her own rebound, misses again, and then gets wide open for a three and buries it. As Lexi Hull repays the favor, knocks down the three. Williams, handoff to Nafisa. Nafisa picks up her dribble, nowhere to go with it. Nafisa, nowhere to go. They throws it over to Williams. 10 on the shot clock. Williams on the drive. Gets cut off by Petty. Oh, and then there's a collision away from the ball. They call a foul on Petty. Trips up Alana Smith on her roll to the basket. There were just two players going opposite directions and ran right into each other. Ball in play here with Courtney Williams. Tries to bounce past it. Oh, geez. Lexi Hull almost gets the steal, but runs into Nafisa. So that's another foul there. That's Lexi Hull's first foul of the game. Ball in play here with Alana Smith. Gets it over to Nafisa. Back to Courtney. They run that pick and roll game. Finds the another foul here called on the Fever. They thought they had her trapped, but I guess on the pass they followed through and hit her. So that's a foul. So now another sideline out of bounds. The Lynx are in. Oh, and then now Aaliyah Boston gets the steal. So all that and the Fever finally get the steal without the foul. 84-73. Shea Petty with the ball. Gets it down to Boston. Boston right down Main Street. Floater is up over feet and good. She's been quiet in this second half after having a hot start. And we have a single-digit game here. 84-75. Aaliyah Boston with 14. And they call a foul immediately. So now they're shooting free throws the rest of the game. Stephanie White, I'm surprised she didn't get a tech on that one for bouncing the ball to the official. So Nafisa at the line for 2 free throws. Nafisa at the line for the first, knocks it down. Second one is up. Good. Harvey, do I think the LA makes the playoffs? I don't know, man. It's looking slim to none right now. Nafisa with 29, and she gets a steal here. Nafisa looking for the 30 piece. What is on the court right now? How does that even get on the court? Wow. The the mop boy, he was mopping up the court, and then they got the steal in transition. He tried to run away, but the bottom of the mop fell off. I was like, what is that on the court? That is hilarious, but it is Minnesota ball. I thought it was the sticky thing when they step on the thing, but when they step on the court to get some grip on their shoes, Nafisa with the fall away misses, rebound to the Fever. Natasha Howard in transition, attacks, it goes all the way coast to coast and scores. And it's back to single digits here. 86-77. Courtney Williams over to Atlanta Smith. Over to Kayla McBride. She dribbles off her shoe. Williams saves it from going into backcourt. Williams over to Fee. Fee gets the contact from Howard, and that's free throws automatically since they're in the bonus. So Fee working on a 30 piece here. She has 29 and 9. Thankfully, I'm already winning in my fantasy league. Because if she had this and she was on my bench and I needed it, I would be upset. Fee hits the first. She's 6 for 6 at the line. The 87-77. Fee with 30 points in her return. Second one is up, and she misses. I think the announcers just jinxed her. 87-77. Petty over to Howard. Right side to Mitchell. Do they have one more run in them in this last 4.5? Over to Boston. Boston gets downhill, loses the ball. Atlanta Smith rips it away, and they call a jump ball. Aaliyah Boston was already losing the ball on the drive. Atlanta Smith and Aaliyah Boston jump ball, semicircle, and the Fever win the jump. Petty with the ball gets downhill, goes under the basket, finds Hull in the corner. Hull drives, loses the ball. Fee with the steal, and now Natasha Howard gets popped in the eye. It looks like when Nafisa trying to clear some space on getting the ball, and while she was trying to clear it, I think she hits Natasha Howard in the eye here. So it is Fever ball. Petty over to Mitchell. Mitchell gets the screen from Boston. Mitchell contested shot, misses. Kayla McBride with the rebound. And then the same play happens, but they give it in favor of the Lynx this time. Oh, that one I think she actually caught her with. They're gonna review that one now. So we go into the table. We're going to the monitor here. It's 87-77. They're gonna review that last play by Kayla McBride. She was just back-to-back plays just happened like that. Nafisa tries to clear space, catches Natasha Howard. The Fever get the ball. This one, Kayla McBride tries to clear space, catches Lexi Hull square in the face, and they give the ball to the Lynx. So they're gonna review this. Kima, you don't think the refs were controlling this game? You don't think so? You think it was a little out of control? We're in a timeout right now. We're in a timeout. Jerry says that one was flagrant. The fee one was incidental. I can accept that. Harvey, what do I make of Mieseman? I mean, she's a great offensive talent, but teams know to pick on her on defense. She's slow of foot. So that's the only thing. Teams are now attacking her because her foot speed isn't great, and now you got her out there with Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones is slow of foot as well. You got two slow foot players out there. Everybody just having whatever they want down low. Drebber says might be flagrant one. Oh, I got you, Chemo. I mean, I think from watching, I think they're doing a decent job of of keeping control of it. It's just I think the Fever are in a little bit of a desperation mode, so um they're trying to put a lot of pressure on the Minnesota Lynx on these rebounds, and Minnesota trying to clear space, and the Fever just getting their head in the game, literally. Oh, Caitlin Clark got a tech from the bench. So did they call it on Caitlin Clark or did they say Kayla McBride? Yeah, so they call a foul on Caitlin Clark, and then they call a tech on Kayla McBride. I thought they said Caitlin Clark. They said Kayla McBride, but Kelsey Mitchell at the line for one free throw for the technical, and she knocks it down. Kayla McBride, Caitlin Clark, I guess. K sounds similar. I thought Caitlin got a tech from the bench. I was about to say, come on, girl. Not right now, please. Your team losing. She knocks down the free throw. It's a 9-point game. Now Kayla McBride will shoot the 2 free throws for the initial foul. Kayla McBride knocks down the first. Yeah, Harvey, we definitely missed Benija. I mean, that was a unexpected loss. Unfortunately, right before the season starts. 89-78, 4 minutes to go here. Yeah, you're right. Gerber, coach did tell you to keep those elbows high. Unfortunately, and you had to swing it changes things a bit. So now they're gonna call this game extra tight. Now they calling everything. So they call a foul on Bridget Carlton for trying to play over the screen there. Petty with the ball. Both teams in the bonus. So anytime anybody gets fouled, it's free throws. Aaliyah Boston over to Petty. Petty with 5 on the shot clock. Over to Mitchell. Over to Petty. Petty over to Hull. Hull has to get it up. Hull for 3 off the rim. Long rebound goes to Atlanta Smith. Gets it to Williams. Williams crosses half court. Gets the screen from Smith. And they call a foul on Petty. So now, yeah, this is going like you're right, Tudo. It's going to be a long 4 minutes here. I don't. So Alana Smith at the line for 2 free throws here. She makes the first. 90-78 with 3:27 to go. My clock's a little fast. And she makes both. 91-78. Lynx on top. They've shot 10 free throws in this quarter. They've made 9. Kelsey Mitchell with the ball. Kelsey Mitchell down to Boston. Boston out to Mitchell. Touch pass to Hull. Hull for 3. Way off. Almost put a crack in the backboard. Rebound goes over to Williams. Williams outlet to a running Alana Smith. Outruns everybody and scores. Timeout, Stephanie White. Courtney Williams with her 10th assist of the game. 93-78. Alana Smith outruns everybody off the missed shot. Outlet. Courtney Williams pinpoint pass to Atlanta Smith. Easy layup. They get a bunch of these a game. Atlanta Smith runs by everybody. Nobody picks her up. And she gets an easy lay. 14-10 for Courtney Williams. 14 points and 10 assists. $93-78. She has no turnovers in this game, apparently. I thought she had one, but probably has none. Let me see. Courtney Williams. Yeah, no turnovers. 14 points, 10 assists, no turnovers. Really good game for Courtney Williams. 13 for Kayla McBride, 30 for Nafisa. Yeah, this game is pretty much stick a fork in them. Lexi Hall with 6. She's had a couple after having a career high 23 against this team. Definitely has gone back and turned back into a pumpkin here. She has 6 points on 2 of 10 shooting. 10 for Natasha Howard, 14 for Boston, 26 for Mitchell, but it's just not enough. 14 for Shea Petty off the bench, just not enough. Robert says Kayla Thornton is the one that I never would have let get away. And in my opinion, it ended up coming between her and Niara Sabally, and we went with Niara Sabally and her promise. But as you can see, this season she's been injured more than she's actually played for us. So that one is a hindsight is 2020, but look, it turned into Kayla Thornton becoming a first-time All-Star in her expanded role. But then it ended up ending with her having a season-ending injury after the All-Star game. So it's tough. But anyways, player of the game here, they're saying on the broadcast, of course, Nafisa with 30. Um, in her first game back after being off a couple of weeks due to injury. A 30 piece for her. I think she has 30 and 10. Nafisa, what she got? Nafisa with 30 points and 9 rebounds, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. They over here playing YMCA in the arena. Jeez. Ball in play here. 93-78. Ball with the fever. Mitchell over to Boston. Boston handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell left side to Powers. Powers on the drive into the paint. Drops it off to Boston. Boston gets blocked from behind by Williams. Over to Hull. Hull. Handoff to Petty. Petty down the lane. Right hand scoop and scores. Courtney Williams in a little bit of pain here on that block. But she seems to be fine. She has the ball now. Gets it over to Alana Smith, over to Bridget Carlton, down the fee. But Hull jumps it, and it's out of bounds. And they call a foul on Hull, actually. So Nafisa will go to the line to add to her point total. Empire, I guess MVP wanted to make a small statement. Yeah, they said people must have forgot I was out too long. And people must have forgot what I was doing before I got hurt. And she came back, and now she has 31. Second is good. 95-80. 95-80. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell over to Boston. And they call a foul on Alana Smith. So now Boston will go to the line for 2 free throws. Yeah, this is about to drag out. This is about to drag on out. Aaliyah Boston misses the first free throw. And Aaliyah Boston misses both free throws. Tip rebound goes out of bounds off of the Fever. So it's a 15-point deficit here. It's pretty much over. Missed both free throws. Nafisa gets it into Courtney Williams here. 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's been a foul fest. Both teams in the bonus since like the 5-minute mark. So any little touch is a foul. Williams gets it over to Fee with 10 on the shot clock. Fee drives right. Handoff to Bridget. Bridget on the drive. Bridget, foul line jump shot. Up, off. Rebound, Boston. Timeout, excuse me, to Stephanie White. 1:49 to go in this one. Minnesota looking to become the first team to 30 wins this season. They're well on their way there unless they have a historic meltdown in the next 1 minute 49 seconds. So they'll move to 30-7. Still have only lost one game at home. The Fever will drop to 19-18 and will drop to 8th place in the standings. Excuse me, my bad. Get some drink right quick. They're doing a little highlight montage of Kelsey Mitchell right now and her contributions. The star comparison, you got 26 from Kelsey and 32 from Nafisa. Both of them are 2 for 3 from three-point range. Almost the same amount of free throws now. 10 for 11 for Kelsey, 8 for 9 for Nafisa. All right, so it is ball in play here with the Fever. Bree Turner with the ball. Kelsey Mitchell is on the bench. I guess her night is over. They've cleared the bench. Here, Makayla Timpson, the rookie, is in. Odyssey Sims over to Petty. Petty comes off the screen. Picks up her dribble. 4 to go. Gets it to Powers. Powers drives. 2 seconds. Powers has to shoot it. Doesn't even look at the shot clock. It's a shot clock violation. Robert says, Jay, remember how fast the first quarter was? Yeah, 30-25 was that first quarter. That pace was unsustainable. Jalen Sherrod getting some minutes. That pains me to say that Jalen Sherrod is getting some minutes. My ex-Celebrity Rook. Oh, Cameron Taylor. That's another player I forgot to add to the list here. Sherrod gets it into Shepard. Over to Sherrod. Sherrod pump fakes for the 3. Doesn't take it. Cameron Taylor's making her WNBA debut. You have Bridget Carlton with the ball. Bridget Carlton loses the ball, goes off Powers and out of bounds. Stays with the Lynx. Here we go. Bridget Carlton gets it into Sherrod. Sherrod has to take a shot off the side of the backboard. Shot clock violation. So the benches are cleared on both sides. You got the other rookie, Anastasia Olari Kosu, for Minnesota in the game. Ball in play with Bree Turner over to Aerial Powers. Left hand dribble into the paint. Aerial Powers drops it off to Makayla Timpson, and she finishes the layup. You took Nafisa under 32.5. Oh, you got lucky there then. She finishes at 32. Salute, Bennett. Glad you were able to hit something. Shepard with the ball gets it to Kosu. Kosu drives off balance, throws it up, and they say it's out of bounds off of the Fever. Yeah, Kosu's only 19. She's another young rookie. Her and Dominique Malonga. Sherrod to inbound. Gets it into Bridget. Bridget contested baseline 2 is good. Bridget Carlton. $82.97. 20 seconds to go here. This is pretty much done and dusted. Once about a half-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Powers with the ball. Finds a cutting Bree Turner. Goes up and scores. 5 seconds to go here. And Jalen Sherrod will dribble it out. That's how this game ends. So at the end of this one, the Minnesota Lynx moved to 30-7 on the season. 30-7. The Fever dropped to 19-18 on the season, and they dropped down to 8th place in the standings. Let's take a quick look at the box score before we get out of here. 1 second. There we go. Plus 14.5. Oh, yeah, you survived, I think. Yep. E4. Yeah. Yeah, you survived. You survived. 97-84 Empire. Thank you. Thank you. Lynx outscored Fever outscored the Lynx 30-25 in the first quarter. They outscored them the rest of the way. 27-15 in the second, 25-21 in the third, 20-18 in the fourth. For the Fever, the main person to focus on is Kelsey Mitchell with 26, Aaliyah Boston with 14, and Natasha Howard with 10 and 8. And then you had Shea Petty off the bench with 16, which was a big contribution there. All right, Liz, thank you. Sierra, thank you for the super chat. Salute. Mom, Mama Tick's fun. You're funny. Minnesota, you got Nafisa with 32 and 9. Got Bridget Carlton with 7, 8 for Alana Smith, 13 for Kayla McBride, 14 for Courtney Williams with 10 assists, and no turnovers. Dejanay with 5, 13 for Maria Klandakova, 5 for Natisha Heidemann. And that's the game, people. Salute, Robert. Thanks. Great job as always. Thank you. Pog, salute. All right, guys, that's it from me tonight. It's been a long day of watching hoops, even though this was the first watch along. We were in the Discord watching earlier today. Make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the description. I'll probably be playing that Liberty game. If I go to it, I'll be playing that Liberty game in the Discord tomorrow. If you don't have access to it, so make sure you join the Discord. Salute to everybody who joined the stream tonight. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here. We're on the road to 1,300 subs. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Had some good games today. One good game and then 2 okay games that could have been better, but it is what it is at the end. All right, guys, I'm out. It's been a long day. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It's Jay Jordan. Appreciate the super chats, the likes, the subs. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Salute.